We're ready, we're rolling. We're gonna record this commentary track for the Invasion USA, the war propaganda film. Time, Russians attack us now. It's considered a sci-fi thriller. This is today is September 29th, 2022. On my birthday, I'm 40 years old today. I'm a huge fan of this film, and Alfred E. Green and Albert Zugsmith later went on to do movies with Mamie Van Doren, my favorite blonde bombshell. February 6th, 1931 is Joan Lucy Orlando. She was born in South Dakota somewhere. I'm gonna have to get read some of the film facts articles about Peggie Castle in here in that magazine article. Did Green Eyes Crying on my B-Film Goddess Universe Peggie Castle Facebook group page, and there's some insert that this came with it. I can't read now. Well, actually, I can't. I scanned it. I can't. My friend's borrowing that movie. It's in Peggie Castle with these sci-fi movies he's borrowing, so I could just read off the scan of it on the computer, and it's in the uploaded to the group. But this is Peggie Castle's first big star role, and I've seen lots of movies that Gerlald Mohr did. Guns, Girls, and Gangsters with 59, with directed by Edward O'Connor. She's in that with him. She's a bad girl now. She said she liked being beat around. And Peggie Castle's entrance, I'll start talking about her whenever she comes in. There's a bar that the people meet in. Who's that bartender? I have to look at this. I can't remember. I know him, but I don't know his name. I know his face. I have to look at this. The trailer, I said the cast. I'll say it again. Gerlald Mohr, Peggie Castle, Dan O'Reilly, Noel Neal, William Shallard's newscaster on television. Some of the scenes. I don't know who this guy is, but let me see this. Chuck Norris did one, but I don't think it's a remake. It sounds like a completely different movie. I like Alfred E. Green. He did Alice in Whites in 45 with the actor. I like him. Cornell Wilde's in that. Evelyn Keyes, Adele Jurgens, Phil Silvers. It's an Arabian Nights type of comedy movie, and there's romance. It's a good, beautiful Technicolor. Adele Jurgens is one of my favorite actresses. Cornell Wilde and Evelyn Keyes, and everybody knows Phil Silvers from the show he did. Let me see who this guy is.
And what do you think the love thinks?
Tom Kennedy, he's the bartender. Tim, the bartender. Wade Crosby's the Illinois congressman. He's coming up in here. See, I don't know all these people. Of course, I said Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis Coates is in this too. She's the original Superman. I mean, Lois Lane, the original. Well, she's the second Lois Lane. I said in the trailer. Excuse me. Noel Neal's the original. She tried to say. Phyllis tried to say she was with Noel Neal. Was I argued that was what she wanted to say. It made her feel better, like she said on the cast interview on here. Noel Neal had mentioned. Richard Ayers in this. I have to look for him. So he's uncredited. Mulfree's son. Edward G. Robinson Jr. Is he related to the famous actor? Let me look at this. I'm looking online. Somebody's doing. Because some of this stuff I don't know. Here's the scene with entrance of Gerlald Mohr.
Boulder County, Arizona.
He had a heart attack.
I'm a cattle raiser. Now here's today's question. Are you for or against the universal
I don't even know.
By that I mean draft everything. Soldiers for the army, factories for war work, labor for factories, the whole business.
I don't know.
Well, there's too much government in business already.
He only died 1 year after the death of his father. What year is this? Oh yeah, see, he was his son. That sucks. How old was he? He's only 40 years old. That's really a shame. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to get into that now, but
I'd have raised 5,000 if they hadn't put price controls on.
this is the scene where they're talking at the bar, and this scene here, and I can start reading that stuff in the group. I mean, well, I'll just open up on the floor. I got the page open on the group, and I'll just open the folder too. There's Dan O'Reilly talking. Who does he play? Let me start naming the characters. I know who Peggie Castle plays. That's in my head. Everybody knows me on Facebook, and even in life knows I'm a passionate, diehard, fanatical fan of this actress. And some of them model Peggie Castle. His entrance is Carla Sanford.
What would you like, honey?
Scotch over ice.
I don't know why you New York.
I know a lot about her. Peggy Blair, December 22nd, 1927, in Appalachia, Virginia. She was born. I'll get into some more of the facts about how she grew up and stuff. I know she went to Pittsburgh here at Bellevue College, I think, and studied acting. And I mentioned in the Cow Country commentary on the scene that made me cry. One of her fathers killed. That she.
I'd like to ask you both a question.
I'm trying to remember now what I was going to say. I mentioned that she. When she was born, and she was overlooked and was never appreciated. I love her and respect her. I forgot what I was going to say.
Lineman 1717.
I mentioned her birthday.
All right, George. I listen to Mr. Potter every
No,
time.
I
He's
forget.
very popular with me.
So is he, evidently. Thank you.
She's a really good actress. Has talent and passion. She was married so many times and had a really tough life. But,
Draft factories, that's communism. Communism.
I'd look for Richard Eyre, but I mean, I'm gonna have to pull out this thing to read too on here. It's in the sci-fi partition external. My brother got me last year for Christmas. It's a 4 terabyte.
The Army needs tanks.
Here's another scene in the movie when they're cleaning the windows and talking about
some of my dealers.
If your dealers are good
stuff.
Americans, they'll know that tanks are more important than tractors.
Oh, here's
All
the
they
stuff.
know is if they don't get taxes to sell, they're out of business.
If
Read the
Henry
back of
Mason
it and
conquered
everything. I
America,
mean,
they'd be out of business for good.
Bad chance. I'm sorry, Major. I'd like to accommodate you.
she
But I've
just
spent
got her
10
screen
years
test by
building my
accident.
sales organization, and I'm not going to
They
throw it
got
away
a dinner.
for some mistake.
Somebody saw her eating
If people like you
lunch at a
won't
strip and
cooperate with
cocktail
your
lounge
government
in,
willingly, the day may come when
is
we'll
it
be
Culver
forced to
City
take
or
over
something?
your
I'm trying to remember.
plant.
Somewhere in California. I should look at that on every day. I was gonna have to. I should just look at that now. I hate when I can't remember something.
We'll never stand for police
They
state.
called her Miss Cheesecake, and that's how they called those women that like the photos he used to promote this movie. Her on the All New Bathing. She used to call it cheesecake photography.
I sure told him off. You sure did. How about you, Miss Sanford? You believe in drafting women?
I know that they
Well, it all depends on what you want to draft it
Is
for.
she, where did they discover her? Yeah, she's beautiful, green eyes and brunette. And of course, she has her hair blonde in this. I have a promo photo of her as a brunette. In '53, it was re-released. In '56, it was again, I guess, because of the reissue trailer.
Another drink, Tim, for everybody.
Let me see what it says about her. I'm just going to read some of this. I know all this stuff. I read this many times.
I'm just a New York
Tall, sultry, green-eyed, blonde, Peggie Castle. Not even really blonde, brunette, of course. Dyed her hair. Was Peggie Castle actually spotted by Talent Scout? Yep, when she was lunching in a Beverly Hills restaurant. Yep, it said somewhere else. It said Trip and Cocktail Lounge, and it's yep in Beverly Hills. Her film, she was usually somebody's woman rather than a girlfriend. In her career, was considered mostly B pictures, B-grade action pictures, dramas, westerns, and like it doesn't say sci-fi, horror, and get a sci-fi in the beginning of the end, 57, and then horror, Back from the Dead with Arthur Franz, Marcia Hunt, and Dog Haggerty, 57, shot in Regal Scope. I'm going fast. I mean, yep, westerns, Harem Girl with Joan Davis. She's supporting actress, the princess. Donald Randolph's in there from Deadly Mass and stuff. And Mad Magician, he's a jerk in that. Mad Magician, yep. Wagons West, I haven't seen. I don't even have that. Princess T-51 with Tony Curtis and Piper Laurie in her. She's a bad girl at the end. You find out her role as a princess in that. Jesse James Woman, 54, heard of it, don't have it. The Princess Thief Technicolor, Wagons West, North Shore, Harem Girls, black and white. Payment on Demand, she plays one of Betty Davis's daughters at 51 with Barry Sullivan also and some other actors I know. Yep, and Jesse James Woman, and among others. She did, however, have good roles in such films as Payment on Demand, as I said, with Betty Davis. 99 River Street with John Payne and Glenn Langan, married to Doug Jurgens, one of my favorite actors. And her as an actress, a very sexy woman, got typecast in burlesque roles. Was a really damn good actress. Really, in reality, played a bad girl a lot. She was a sweetheart in real life. And the producer at AIP, Richard Gordon, said she was a sweetheart in real life. And she played all those bad girl roles. Yep, 99 River Street. Yep. It's got. Who's the? I know, but I can't see. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. That played the bad guy in that. Well, he was going to be with Peggie Castle, but he didn't. Her character in that was Pauline Driscoll.
The businessman wants a bigger Air Force and a new Cadillac.
Ernie Driscoll was John Payne's character name.
And an electric dishwasher.
I see. I hate this, and I can't remember the guy's name. But she's with him. She's sick of her husband because he doesn't have money anymore. He is not boxing anymore because he lost his last match. Steve McNally, is that his name?
I don't want to let George do
No, it's Brad Dexter. Nope, Brad Dexter was the guy that she ends up with, and then he fucking disposes of her. And then they put her in a taxi. She gets killed in that. So I mean, people say that's her best role, but she's good at it. But she gets killed. I mean, her best bad girl role for noir, as far as she loved, her favorite doing the noirs was it's coming out November 8th. 3-disc, 3D Blu-ray, 4 Ultra K Blu, regular Blu-ray. Eye of the Jury, based on Mickey Spillane novel, released in 1953, released in 1953, directed by the great Harry Essex, who scripted Creature from the Black Lagoon that came from outer space. Originally, Came from Outer Space was a story by Ray Bradbury. Now here's Dan O'Reilly hypnotize him and pull him into this. What could happen to us, and if they're not going to listen to him about and change their views on what they're doing in the world, there's going to be another war. That's what he's doing. He's hypnotizing them, and you know, and that's the wine glass. It's just the POVs and cool stuff in this. And now it's going to get into the what could happen. And yeah, she looks so beautiful. This is Peggie Castle, and this, and I think her nose is cute. I like her hair, and I like everything about her. I mean, her feet are really sexy. Her soles are soft, and the commentary on the movies, you can see them, and her toes are curved, and under her high arches, she's beautiful legs, and yeah, see, this is going right into the stuff I was talking about. She's got really a lot of cleavage. And I like her shoulders. I mean, that's a real woman. Her acting is amazing, like in that Cow Country. That's what made me fall in love with her. First movie I saw she did was Beginning of the End. 57, the Burt I. Gordon sci-fi thriller starring Peter Graves, Moore Sanker, Thomas B. Henry. The actor is Hank Patterson, did Mr. Ziffel on Green Acres. And James Say's one of the army guys, the main ones that tries to hit on her, you know, wants to take her and have a drink, you know. But anyways, back to this one. Yeah, but like I said, payment on demand, like I said, 99 Street, John Pay. I The Jury I mentioned, that's the one that's coming out. I can't wait to get that. I pre-ordered my copy. It's coming out the 8th. It's coming out in England on October something. Just a commentary Biff Light did that's old in the interview that before he died in his 80s. His nephew did it with him, Josh, whatever. And then there's a new commentary that says the trailer or something. Our release has, by a classic Flex, all one word, F-L-I-X, capital F. They got more extras on it. They got like 8 different extras on it, man. I mean, that's the limited edition, man. The regular DVD has nothing but the movie, which is full screen. It's in freaking... I'm gonna look at that and pull it up. It's like a freaking Super HD transfer. I might do a commentary, and I hope it just passes on YouTube without any strikes or anything. And this will, because I know I put this movie up here and nothing happened. It's been out of print for years. Nobody re-released it except on a double feature. And they didn't. I guess this passed, and it doesn't matter. So. Yeah, but she did I The Jury, like I said, White Oak at 54 in color with William Lundigan. Great movie. She plays Catherine Williams, a photographer, and he's like all pissed off it's a woman, and she's like, I usually pass for one at the beginning. That's a beautiful Technicolor. So that's public domain, released by Film Detective and DVD-R manufacturer on demand. And before that, Alpha Video put it out on a regular DVD. The transfer on the Alpha Video one I actually think is they're both public domain, but one transfer looks different than the other. One's like the colors faded. One looks. I'm gonna have to look at that again on my computer. The thumbnail on her. I have all her movies on an external hard drive and extras on the one my mom got me back in 2019. I think it was 2020 to 2021. I got that for Christmas. Maybe 19 to 21, 2020. I forget, but it was I forget, but I got it. And now they shot him. The Russians are already getting in here. These son of a bitches. I'm not gonna. I tried to do scenes, and there's too short, so I'm gonna do commentaries. I'm just gonna sit here and do this movie and talk about her too, and some of the other stuff involved, and how it leads into something else. Like I always do my commentary tracks. Miracle in the Way with Van Johnson and Jane Wyman. She plays the secretary. That's the one I have to buy that I couldn't get a good download of. It looks like crap on the crappy download. That she's that's an A movie pretty much, and so is. Yeah, and so is the one with Bette Davis, but she did a lot of B movies, and she's such a good actress, was underappreciated. And they called her Miss Classy Chaz in the auto industry, and she worked on the planes of the Air Force supported men in the war, Korean War, and they called her Miss Jet Job because she was so sexy and sleek, and she worked on the war jets, the bombers, and the fighters, like the Strategic Air Command. By 1950, it was called the U.S. Air Force, by the way. It was called the U.S. Army Air Corps before I know a lot about the military planes. I'm trying to see what that is. Is that the Russians, or is that us? So we actually adopted the swing wing thing from the Russians, and then we got that, was using that. No, wait, I think it was the Germans we took that from, not the Russians, but they copied our stuff like the XB-70, the idiots. I never cared for the Russians. Now they're getting worse. They got Ukraine stuff, and they used to be our friends for a long time, especially during World War II, and not when the Cold War started, and then like in the 80s. It got worse with us with them. It's just doing a little better with the Ukraine stuff, but it's not. That sucks. Like I said, that she did Seven Hells of Rome, but that's with Mario Lanza. He's a tenor singer, so an actor. That didn't do well. Bombed, and he died like right after he was only his late 30s. Had a heart attack and died. 58 it came out. over here in '57, it was released internationally, or I think overseas. After 3 seasons of playing sexy female lead in Lily Merrill, the dance hall hostess and romantic interest for 70, steely-eyed Marshall Dan Trooper in TV. Steely-eyed Marshall Dan Trooper in the TV series Lawman 58 to 62. She came in the 2nd season, episode 1. That's what it doesn't say that, but she left show business in 1962. She later developed an alcohol problem and died of cirrhosis liver at 73 at age 45. That's a shame. I read all that North City article and all these details about her towards the end. It was talking about other movies a little bit, focused mainly on her noir movies, but that was made me cry like hell. I read all that stuff about her. I would respect her. She's not just like, that's a real woman, man. Her acting is ridiculously good, and she has talent and passion. I can see it in her roles, and she does her character, especially that cow country and stuff. And Bruce Kimmel, the film story, does a commentary at the beginning and the end with Bernard Gordon's ex-wife, Ira, the I stand for. Bernard Gordon, Mr. Big, they call him, the giant stuff, sci-fi thrillers, horror, sometimes fantasy films. He said he fell in love with her from either Jury or the Bagger role, Charlotte Manning, the psychoanalysis, but I don't know, I gotta watch it again, man. She's awfully evil, and that by the end you find out, and I don't know if I have sympathy for her. I guess if I gotta do more, watched it, I only saw that a couple of times. That transfer looks amazing, and I heard I'm gonna have to get into her and that more. And it's got Preston Foster too. He's a great actor. It's got Elijah Cook Jr. He's not even credited. It's got Biff Elliott. Here it secured the role. Right, he said on the commentary, it was on YouTube for years. They pulled it, and so they were acting like they were looking for somebody to play Mike Hammer, Mickey Spillane. But they didn't. He already had the part secured. But they still put out like a search, like they didn't have anybody, but they had him already. Then somebody come and they say, whoop, somebody already got the part. He pretty much said that in the commentary. He said Peggie Castle's a beautiful, voluptuous woman. He didn't say how nice she was really at all. He just talked about he could play what he saw. He didn't have to just act. He just did it naturally. He said a lot of stuff he dealt with in the war, he put that in his role, and he could act like he really got hit. The one scene, he pushed the guy's head in the china cabinet at the beginning of the stupid reporters, and that was real. He said he could play right off of her, like it was like, because what she is, she's a really good actress, he said. We know she was nice, but he didn't talk about that. That's the only thing I like about it. But he said Harry Estes did a really good job at the time. He didn't like it. Now he looks back on this as a really good film, and that was, at least he realized that before he died, that the people, us noir fans, the B movies and stuff, love that movie, man. I gotta watch it more like when it comes out. But back to the that commentary Bruce Kimmel did on there when he said that movie, if it made him fall in love with her. For all the lines on the commentary, Bernard Gordon's ex-wife and Susan Gordon, the daughter, he said they made him fall with her, and he talks about how beautiful she is, and even the Bernard Gordon's ex-wife Flora agreed. I talked to him a little bit on Facebook. He joined my page for her. He's older now. He's 67. I don't think he's into her as much as he used to be when he was younger. I don't know. He just doesn't really look at stuff a lot. He's probably doesn't on Facebook very much, but it's cool to have some contact with some fans of her and some of the noir groups and the sci-fi groups and the horror groups. And even though she liked to do westerns, she did 11 of them. I have to look at that. That's a shame that she didn't like doing, because she was so good in like Overland Pacific, and I don't like how that guy that did the Norse, Film Facts article just kind of rimmed a lot of her movies and said they were bad, and she just got like mediocre roles, and then he didn't really say anything about her. She in Cow Country, how good of an actress she is. Whenever her father gets killed, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Before that, I thought she was just pretty and sexy and a good actress. And that just like, I was just like, wow, she's such a good actress. Like, holy hell, I can't believe it. She's so amazing. And like I said, my favorite B-movie dramatic actress. Mary Corey is my favorite pin-up and heroine actress. Started as a pin-up, became a showgirl, and then she was an actress and did Playboy in October '58. And Terry Moore's my favorite girl next door. Deborah Paget is another one. Marla English is my favorite. Like, they called Elizabeth Taylor in DP movies. They dubbed her that. And then like Mamie Villeneuve is my favorite blonde. Laurie Nelson is another favorite girl next door. She was the tomboy too. So Jeannie Crane was auburn hair, another favorite girl next door. I have a favorite director, would be from overseas that came here movies, would be Bill Rebane. Roger Corman was over here that made B movies and indie. You know, Ray Harryhausen's my favorite stop motion or special effects guy of all time. My favorite special makeup effects would probably be Tom Savini. Well, no, Rick Baker, Tom Savini, and Tom Burman's. Ron Bottin's good. There's a lot of Larry Buchanan, Bernard Gordon's good. Edward L. Conn, Richard Fleischer. There's so many. Like I said, this guy Alfred E. Green. There's so many good Hammer stuff like Val Guest is good, and Terrence Fisher. So many good filmmakers that like and effects guys. And Willis O'Brien has started the stop motion process. Obi. Jim Danforth in the 60s, David Allen by 70, and Randy Cook was a big fan of Ray Harryhausen, like Ken Ralston, who did Star Wars, and like Dennis Muren and Phil Tippett were stop motion guys. And Ray Harryhausen never ever touched it; he did it all himself. I want to be buying more of his stuff and get back into him doing some more commentaries and putting some tribute together. I was going to put this whole tribute together for Peggie Castle on different clips from my scenes from my favorite movies. Some of them are so short, it's hard to get in what I need to say on them. And so I was thinking about doing a compilation like that, but I don't know how. It's too hard to get into a lot of stuff I want to say. It's just, I want to do that with AmeriCorps A, but some of it's the same, and there's some really brief scenes when she started off, and it's going to be hard to put, like, when I get out what I want to say in that length of time, because, I mean, I tried to do it already. I just scrapped a bunch of them for Cow Country. It wasn't, especially that Air Cadet did them, but they're just really short and brief, because she was only in 4 scenes, and the longest one was like a minute and a half. So it says her birthplace is home in the largest house in the largest house in Appalachia, Virginia. Yeah, according to her Hollywood lore, she was discovered by a town scout while eating a strip and cock. Yep, this is where I read the strip and cock lunch and seafood bar at Farmers Market in Los Angeles, California. Once ideal Hollywood secretary by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce after she played secretary in Miracle in the Rain from 1956. Peggy used to return to her home of Appalachia, Virginia at least once a year to visit her favorite aunt, to whom she was very close with. I heard she didn't get along with her mother, but her father she did. And her daughter, from that producer, Erin McGarry, had a daughter from the producer, William McGarry. She didn't get along with her mother. I was going to try to find her and tell her what a huge, passionate, diehard fanatical fan I am of Peggy, and I just said she didn't get along with her mom. To hell with looking finding her, because she never get along with her mom for whatever reason. But he's close to the rain. It says the resident of Peggy's hometown of Appalachia, Virginia, has recently written a 2-act play based on her life. I would love to see that. When was this? I'm gonna try to find it. Peggy's hometown, Virginia. What is it? The resident of Peggy's hometown of Appalachia, Virginia. Is that her aunt, or is she talking about somebody else? Are they talk? I mean, are they? I don't know. Written a 2-act play based on her life. Much of the dialogue in the play is taken from actual letters Peggy wrote to her favorite aunt back home in Appalachia, Virginia. Somebody grew up in her town. I would like to know who it is. I'd love to talk to that person. I have to try to. Parents' names were Doyle Elizabeth Blair. Her father was the director of an industrial relations firm while the family moved to Hollywood. He was hired as a studio manager at Goldwyn Studios. Yep. Like I said, had a daughter with third husband, William McGarry. Aaron Kathleen McGarry, born January 6, 1963 in Los Angeles, California. In 1959, she worked. Well, 1959 is about Peggy. These are the facts I'm reading. She was voted, like I said, Miss Classy Chassis by the members of the Automobile Workers Union from 7 western states. They called her that. While promoted by universities, dubbed Miss Classy Chassis, Miss Cheesecake, Miss Jet Dub. I said all those already. I knew all that. So I mean, you know, I know my stuff about her. She developed a chronic alcohol problem by the early 60s. That's after Lawman. She didn't want to do TV. They were too fast. She needed like westerns, and that's just. Roger Corman did a couple. AmeriCorps did almost 10. AmeriCorps loved doing them, like she liked doing them. Peggie Castle didn't like doing them, but I like them still. She's good in them. I mean, I can just see her be telling her, I hate those westerns, but you're so good in this movie. You made me cry. She would probably be so flattered. She wouldn't know what to say. I keep her memory alive, and I love doing it. And she's like my favorite actress for dramatic acting, and beautiful lady. It says. In the early 60s, developed that drinking problem. In 1969, she attempted suicide by taking an overdose of barbiturates. That's awful. And slashing her wrists. I remember that, and that really made me cry. I read that. She was later committed to California's Criminal State Hospital for alcoholism, but she regressed after her release. She just got worse. I could read about that, but I'll always say that for the noir the commentary on Finger Man, because it talks about all that stuff in there and how those lines reflected on her life. And then I'll read about more of that stuff, because that's for the article for that movie. This is not noir, so I'll stick to the stuff from some of the film facts, and then that Beijing USA artwork, and then that insert thing came with it. I'm going to read that too. 13, she did some modeling, and also was first hired at a radio soap opera called Today's Children. I remember she screen tested and they didn't like her, and then the guy that made her mad caught it and then said, I remember her, you know. They didn't remember, the other guys did. She's the one that had the temper when we didn't like her, the chip on her, you know, and they signed her to UI, and she got a contract in like about 1949. Like I said, the soap opera. Her signed by Universal National in 1950. Yeah, 1949 she was just starting off and getting into it. Then by 50 she was signed, so. She was investigated by Universal star Audie Murphy, who she was seeing at the time. She said he was too much for her. I read that in the horse article. She didn't see him, and when Turner Curse didn't like her, whatever his problem was, I mean, good actor. I mean, I'm all for her. I think whatever. Like, I don't like him as much now. I mean, I like him as an actor, but I don't know why he didn't like her. But he's not alive to defend himself on that. But he did so many good movies. I like him still, but at least he wasn't verbally abusive, and drunk, asshole, verbally and physically like Richard Long was. To Mary Corday, my favorite lady for years, besides Peggie Castle, the other ones I named. Yep, Audie Murphy was there with her, seeing her. She left Universal in 1954 and freelance. Yep, and that's when she started doing like Yellow Tomahawk, 54th Peter Grays and stuff, and White Orchid and Long Wait with Anthony Quinn, noir movie, bondage stuff. Has her in it, as Shirley Patterson, known as Sean Smith on screen, Dolores Donlin. Bruno V. Soto, Gene Evans, man, that's a great movie. I love that movie. You know, she was awarded a stall in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and at 6260 Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, California, February 8th, 1960. She, no relation to Mary Castle, whoever that is. Is that an actress? I'm not sure who that is. I mean, maybe, but there's all the stuff on IMDb about her. I'm going to read that stuff about the back of this DVD that I scanned. Let me make sure that's the right one. This I scanned it and rescanned it. 600, yep, resolution. I'm going to pull this up on my computer, and I might just pull up the North City article that way and read some of the stuff I posted about her in this movie. I did some comments on the trailer and stuff in the movie I uploaded. I uploaded the Atomic audio features, like How to Survive a Nuclear Attack. There's 2 records that are in the public domain. They're on there instead of like a commentary of some film historians or whatever, or those that were live. The 3 didn't do the Neil and O'Reilly and Charlotte didn't do any commentary. They did the cast video interviews on it. And then there's a Red Nightmare 62 short with Jack Webb hosts. Who the hell is the guy that's in it? You know him too. Starring Jack Webb. Who's the guy that's the drag now? I thought he narrates it. What the hell? I forget. I thought that's who it was. Let me look at this. I hate this. I have to look at some of this stuff. Yeah, Red Nightmare 62. Jack Kelly. See, I know who he is. Jack Webb he didn't star and he hosted it. I don't know why it says he starred in it, but I guess it's his thing, and maybe he directed or something. I have to look at that. But
I can get you a reservation a week from next Tuesday, but you'll have to get a priority. Here's where you apply for it, sir. Could I get a card in the field?
It's just people give me birthday wishes and stuff. Here's Noel Neal scene, because today's my birthday too. That's why I wanted to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Here's Noel Neal. Is that Helen Westcott, that actress? I know her that was in Cow Country with Peggie Castle. She was the main actress. I mean, I have to look at that now. Here we go. Oh, wait, Invasion USA. I'm looking at the wrong movie. I tried to look up Cow Country because she's the main actress in that. Peggie Castle, supporting actress. That looks like her. That is not Phyllis Coates, so I mean, I still don't see Helen Westcott. Maybe that's not her, maybe I'm mistaken. Let me keep looking at this. The whole cast.
Maybe this isn't the
The
time.
whole cast and crew. I hate the way they have this structure. They ruined this. You used to be able to come on here for free and comment on movies. Now they want you to pay to get a subscription to comment on movies. That's fucked up. Like the flag, this is over 18. I mean, I'm
I think I'll try for Sanford.
not racist and like picking on people, but that's retarded. I mean, that's dumb if they made it like that now, and I don't even care about it. I can just put my shit on Facebook about these movies. I don't even care. Where's the cast and crew? It says November, or no. I'm gonna have to look at this first, I keep going all over the place. I always look at the release date and stuff and how much it made for, and $127,000 budget estimated, and it's an hour and 12 minutes. Like I said, black and white, 1.37:1 aspect ratio. I knew that. I already knew that already. Mr. Silence 3000. What feature? I knew that too. That's how I saw it on there. I wanted to get the movie. That's how I saw it. After I graduated, I saw it like a 04 sometime. I could download it on SoulSeek or something. And I wanted to see the movie after I watched it on there. Or sometimes I'd see the movie first. I think that was the second movie I saw her. I'm going to look at this cast shit first. Here's the full cast and crew.
Flight 289, land on strip 3.
Guess I was wrong. If it's not, she's not credited. I don't see another woman. It doesn't look like Phyllis Coates. If that is her, I can't tell because she looks completely different. Her hair's like brunette and she's pretty beautiful. But she's not a favorite of mine. But I don't know. It doesn't say that that's Phyllis. That's Helen Westcott. So maybe not. Let me go back to. This was released on December 10th, 1952. Yeah, that's that. So I mean, here's what it says on the back of the DVD artwork and stuff in front. Atomic Special Edition will scare the pants off you. Head hopper, the columnist gossiped all the time, caused problems. I saw that stuff on TCM about that crap, and then she wrote a letter apologizing and said how she admired her, sent her a picture from Bogey, Humphrey Bogart from African Queen. My girl, when we were talking about it, she was alive. She liked that movie. She told me to watch it. It's a good, really good classic movie. It's not a B movie that I like. There's some good ones that are B's. I like more of the B movies that are raw down and dirty. Some of the acting's bad. It just depends on who they have and how they made it, who directed it, or whatever the effects are. I mean, love to stand up still now, the test of time. Like I said, Corbin Harryhausen and stuff. And yep, Hedda Hopper, 50th Anniversary Invasion USA, 50th Anniversary Edition, Synapse Films. Here's the freaking phone number on her, so I wonder if they're even in business still. Yep, 2002. Not rated, 1952, approximate 73 minutes, black and white. Not NTSC, monos. Sounds like stereo, the sounds are going to 2.0. Yep, DVD packaging, silently out copyright 2002, Synapse Film Incorporated. The DVD contains a digitally remastered, it should say and restored, but transfer vision in the window box screen format, exposing more picture than image than what is possible in standard letterbox framing. The black bars on all four sides of the image are normal for this format. And then it says here we're gonna go. Invasion USA, a tremendously exciting film, packs a big wallop. Hollywood Reporter. The exploitation masterpiece. No, the exploitation. I know what those are. Those kinds of movies they made. The B movies, the indie movies. There's the instruction, man. This is getting good. It's only been going for 33 minutes. Exploitation masterpiece. Invasion USA begins when a mysterious stranger, Academy Award nominee Dan O'Reilly, like I said, wanted to do Halloween 3. It didn't do good because Michael Myers was in it. He's a warlock trying to sacrifice over All Souls Day. Now it's a cult classic, but a lot of people don't like it. It's dark. It's really good. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I didn't want to see it when I was a kid. And I watched it. My girl was on Monster Fest at AMC in 2003 and taped it. And I said, "This is a great movie. This is dark, man. It's pretty intense." I didn't think I was gonna like it when it came out. I mean, whenever I saw the tape at the J&M Video Connections and Laura Burrell, that place has been out of business for years, and they went out of business. I got a bunch of tapes from Puppet Master movies and Octoman, and I'm trying to think of a black and white one I got, but I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I just got a bunch of movies from like that and some other ones from different decades and stuff. It says Dan O'Reilly, also nominee Dan O'Reilly engages a diverse group of Manhattan bar patrons in a discussion on the best way to beat communism. Suddenly, yeah, that's a lot in this. That's why they have that short with Jack Webb, hosted Jack Kelly, called Red Nightmare 62. That's copyright. I don't think that would pass on YouTube. Suddenly, a real red alert is declared and enemy parachutes. No, enemy parachutists. By the thousands began landing on American soil. Soon, atom bombs are dropping, skyscrapers are coming, fifth columnists are taking over key industries. They're all a suave, street smart reporter. Gerlald Mohr is beautiful debutante Peggie Castle. She's like a nurse in this type. Sort of like in Target Zero, she's Anne Galloway. That's her character. Desperately to find time for romance in the midst of chaos. Yep, and this is a really nice scene of them. He's gonna have to kiss her here, I can tell. I'm gonna watch this. It's a good scene here.
War or no war, people have to eat and drink.
Make love.
A special meeting of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has been called in Washington. There have been no further reports of bombing.
Raising real woman, man. I don't care what anybody says. She's awesome. She's fucking kicks ass in that Target Zero. She's punching guys and stuff on the promo photos and shit. I have to watch it. I said a couple times. I think she does it in the movie too. She's a badass, man. She's not just sexy, and a really amazing actress. She's badass. She couldn't handle it. She started drinking, man. She needed a guy. She's married 6 times. Finally, she met the guy she liked, and then he died. She couldn't take it. She was too young, and then she was drinking again, and she tried to kill herself, like I was reading earlier on IMDb. There's a lot of details more into that on the Noir City April 2013 article that they forwarded me in the freaking streaming with Eddie Moore and Hawkins forwarded to me because I told her I was a big fan of her, of Peggy. So here's the rest of Invasion USA. The producers of Invasion USA, a motion picture made during the height of the Cold War, dared to show audiences what World War III might look like by making ingenious use of stock footage, models, and other special effects. The filmmakers created a film that makes for an inevitable viewing experience on DVD the first time in a digital transfer of 35mm print. This is amazing. This is like, I don't know if we're going to put another better DVD out or even a Blu-ray of this. We'll see. We'll wait and see. But this is a pop culture history at its most explosive. Yep. There they go. The Russians coming here, the bastards. We're going to start their bullshit.
Your men will work at 24-hour shifts until the tanks are repaired. But it is the people's army who will use them.
I have to get some more water in it. I just shot the guy who tried to shoot.
You will get your order.
Bastard fuckers. Yeah, he's a freaking communist, that guy in there. He didn't even know. He was killing everybody, these fuckers.
Why do people like you always think you can beat anybody with your bare hands?
If I had my life to live,
You would build tanks in this time. Don't worry, you still have time. Only, you will build them for us.
that's what you think.
Yeah, this is...
It would be a pleasure.
Yeah, so yeah, he slapped him in the face. He said that's what she thinks. Yeah, see, they're going to take over the assholes, and communism's awful.
We need this factory, you see.
They have their own laws. You don't have freedoms. It's fucking, they just fucked everything up. It's on that Red Nightmare short.
Only one thing to do.
You're
Watch that a lot, man.
and I'm just a man who can do it.
Yeah, now they're gonna kill the fuckers. They're gonna kill him. I know yeah, see, he came and kill him and came and get away. He stood up for the country and himself, and the fuckers killed him.
San Francisco fell at 12 o'clock today, and the invaders of
Even though this is not inappropriate, I mean, I feel like this is over 18, age restricted because of the, I mean, they're assholes. Why wouldn't they be?
And it is rumored that the army is
And kids might not want to hear this. There she is when she's working on the people in the hospital. She's a nurse and she wears that. Carla Sanford.
We now switch controls to Washington, D.C.
Here's a special. Over 9 hours, almost 9 hours, explosive supplementary material, including brand new Window Box 137.1 digital transfer, special atomic audio feature, like a 2 amazing original Civil Defense Department audio recordings from the alternate DVD audio tracks. The place of Americans and if the bomb falls, a recorded guide to survival. Listen closely to learn how to survive a nuclear attack. That's in the public domain, that's why it's on there. That stuff, a lot of those are. 1956 reissue trailer, which I did the commentary, which will be going up with the movie. The original controversial Red Scare short film, Red Nightmares, hosted by Jack Webb, starring Jack Kelly. I mean, I don't understand he hosted, but he's not doesn't play anybody in the short. I mean, Colonel Rad 100 Film Encyclopedia, top 100 best atomic films ever made. New video here is a star Dan Ryan Williams shot in Noel Neal, specifically for this DVD release. Yeah, puts it in. Let me read the stuff about it. I scanned the disc in the insert thing too, and the chapter stops, and then the chapter stops. Paper insert I scanned too. Now I'm gonna have to go to my film facts thing about Peggie Castle. There's other things, and it's gonna be focused on her mainly, of course, but for the page. But Invasion Say about Bill Greenhart. No, Invasion Say. I gotta zoom in on this. Invasion Say about Bill Gerhart. Numerous Cold War themed movies were released between the years 49 and 91, but none as bizarrely entertaining as the Albert Zugsmith produced jaw-dropping Invasion USA. Essentially a World War II picture masquerading as a World War III picture. The bombs may have gotten bigger, but the glitches remain unchanged. Abbreviated UISA, yep, for Invasion USA is also the okay, Invasion is also progenitor, how do you say this word? UISA is also the progenitor of Soviet America. Okay, cinema, a subgenre whose films imagine the United States under communist domination. Subsequent entities in this niche include the 1962 government short subject Red Nightmare, included on this DVD. John Milas's Red Dawn, 84, in America with a K. Another movie, Uploading 1970. No, TV. That's a miniseries. TV miniseries featuring Meryl Hemingway as an outlaw actress who needles the occupying forces by performing state band show tunes. Really, in parentheses, really show tunes. Really, it will scare the pants off you. Holly Gossip Collins, Heather Hopper, 1952. She put this. I have to turn this down a little bit now. It's never gonna hear on the commentary whenever I put it with the film, the rip I made, but. These were films preceding IUSA that depicted a more subtle and devious Soviet insinuation into American society, such as 1959's I Married a Columnist and The Red Menace, and 1951's I Was a Columnist for the FBI. No, I can't even read this. What the hell am I reading, right? I'm gonna have to read this again. I hate this. It's communist. I don't know why I'm not even really looking at it right. I'm not even reading it right. These films were preceding IUSA that depicted a more subtle and devious Soviet insinuation to American society, such as 1959's I Married a Communist and The Red Menace, and 1951's I Was a Communist for the FBI. But it was IUSA that first uncorked the bottle and treated its audience to a full-blown Russian, though the enemy is never overtly identified. The accents are hard to mistake. Yep. Invasion complete with paratroopers, mushroom clouds, ruptured skyscrapers, and atomized dam. Shot in 7 days in April of 1952 on a budget of $127,000. $127,000. That's a pretty. It's a B movie budget. That's pretty good, dude. Let me look at this IMDb, see if it's the same budget. Yep, $127,000. Yep, $127,000 budget. Veteran actor Alfred E. Green. No, I can't. I don't know why I'm doing this. Sorry about this. I'm just not reading this right. Shot in 7 days in April of 1950 on a budget of $127,000. Veteran director Alfred E. Green. Like I said, I like some of the Jolson story. I know he did stuff. I'm not going to name it all here, but I can't even think of right now some of the stuff he directed. But I have to get refreshed. I mentioned the one with Adele Jurgens, and I forget some of the other ones, but I can go through those if you. I'm gonna have to do it before the end of the commentary. He's a good director. I don't know a lot about, but I liked what he did, what I saw in the movies that he made. For the Jolson story, he managed to combine a number of wildly desperate elements of this 74-minute tour de force of atomic filmmaking. It's actually 73, but whatever. The formula for IUSA, as accurately as can be determined, is 30% stock footage, 20% staged nukes cast to explain the stock footage, 30% intense and mostly non-intentional propaganda, 20% inappropriate romantic melodrama. Blended together. Here's Peggie Castle is Charlotte. Is Scarlett Sanford, like I said, the nurse for the Red Cross. I reflected on what she did in real life almost. She supported the troops and stuff. I could see her doing something like this, like she did even better as Dirty and Jeans and Target Zero from 55, Richard Conte, Chuck Connors, Charles Bronson. Yep, 20% improvement. Melodrama. 20% romantic melodrama. Blend together, the movie plays like a Joseph McCarthy fever dream. Let me go back to this. Let me look at this in this scene too more, and we'll go back to that.
You know, all we want to do is see what goes on in your business.
Yeah, this is good. They're trying to
All over America,
give some blood work there. Check them out. Yep. Remember them driving this when they destroyed the fucking Hoover Dam. It's pretty bad. Richard Ayers is here somewhere. I swear he's a little kid in here. I just didn't. If I picked up on it, I didn't even realize that whenever I saw it, because he's not even. It's very brief and stuff. They don't really show him very much. And I saw some of them just about an invisible boy, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't pick up on that he was in this, and he's probably in here somewhere. I have to keep looking. If I missed him, I missed him. Oh well. Despite nearly I'm going to go back to. Despite nearly a half century of undeserved obscurity, it is worth pointing out that IUSA, not Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, at first Albert unintentionally made audiences laugh about about atomic war. I'm just not reading these words right. I'm not even tired either. Made audiences laugh about atomic war. That Dr. Strangelove, how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb about 1964 came out, I think. Something like 1965, whatever. It has Peter Sellers and stuff in it, and Sterling Hayden, and some other actors I know. But because though IUSA may have originally been promoted for its spectacular special effects, it is a Robert Smith written. Smith also co-wrote Joan Crawford, Jack Palance noir Sudden Fear. I have to check that out. Maybe they know about that in the noir thing they do in the group with Eddie and Ann. Dialogue is most noteworthy today, indeed, in between all the stock footage and explain models, recite some of the most hilarious lines in B-movie history. I don't agree with that, but one example among names exchanged between stars Peggie Castle and Gerlald Mohr after the bomb starts dropping. Castle, it's a night where this can't be happening. Mohr, that he says it was a cinch to happen. The last time I met a girl I really liked, they bombed Pearl Harbor. I don't think that's funny, but maybe that's what she thinks. It's I understand, I guess, but in a way, but it's not really. I don't agree. But a mysterious yet transparently named stranger, Mr. Omen. That's the one that Dan O'Reilly plays. Yep. So that's the fantastical plot device of IUSA in motion. Omen, who we all are told is a television seer or forecaster. Think Criswell, but with a political agenda. Interjects himself into a heated barroom discussion about communism. The main characters, in addition to the two stars of Buster E, congressman, and tracker, manufacturer, and a cattle rancher who sounds like John Wayne on sedatives. That's the guy. They're going to destroy Hoover Dam here, like I was saying. Have each revealed themselves to be woefully complacent Americans who could care less about raising arms against hypothetical invaders' hordes. Hypothetical invading hordes. That is, until civil defense muse Omen helps them all see the error of their ways with the aid of swirling brandy snifter at Richard Eyre. And smooth and soothing words in a vision of what might be. Let me see if this is him. If they don't show him, I'm not going to see his face. I can read the rest of it. That's him. He's really young. That is him. That's him. Richard Eyre from the genie from Sinbad. And then he's in like I said, the Invisible Way. Yeah, because I remember he had that his tooth like that. He's really young there. The first movies probably. They're done. Show you a little shocker. Except from Time Magazine review dated February 16, 1953. After the lingering camera shot dissolves into Owen's glass, the heavy-handed message of IUSA begins to be revealed. Before the film is over, each character has learned the hard way of freedom isn't free. Total vigilance is the price of democracy, and it is extremely difficult book to flight to Montana during a nuclear war.
victim of a weapon that threatens the
Two
very
anchor relationships to the grounds, I guess, is something vaguely resembling reality. The Glib TV reporter Vince Potter, Gerlald Mohr, and carefree debutante Carlos Sanford. Like I said, Peggie Castle. Mohr has made a career out of playing velvet tongue hip cats. It's like I said, guns, girls, and gangsters. Date with Death. Angry Implant sci-fi thriller. The 60 came out in color too. AIP. Directed by Sidney Pinkin. Who was that? Melchior had something to do with the Danish screenwriter and director. No, he directed it. Sidney Pink. I thought it had something to do with it too. I have to look at that again, but that's not important right now. He invests his character with unbelievable cool. He's in other stuff too. I can do Gerlald Mohr. I can't think of it now. I'm getting tired. I mean, it's a little bit, but Potter manages, after all, to glide through much of World War III without ever using his hair or losing his coat and tie. Castle's Carla is a stunning blonde who, after breaking a fingernail at a defense plant in the last war, has since given up caring about patriotism. After her Civil War defense empathy, however, Carla volunteers. They're showered on the screens of newscaster. Volunteers at the Red Cross and later takes. Oh, she volunteers. Okay.
I heard they got 10,000
She's involved. Yeah, I told you she supported the stuff. She isn't a full-blown nurse. She's volunteer. She's full-blown in Target Zero. Want to escape the amorous advances of an ember-hidden enemy soldier. I can remember that part about this movie. I've seen this. Last time I saw this movie was when I saw Cow Country. Made me fall in love with her. It was 2020 to 2021. Because it wasn't 20. No, wait a second. It wasn't. See, I forget to post about the group. From the group I posted about it. I saw this again. Was the last time I saw this was. I had this on last year on Christmas, but I wasn't really watching. I was doing other things that was on there. The Peggie Castle folder was going with the movies and on my external. It was 2020 to 2021, wasn't it? It was before Christmas. Yeah, it was 2020 to 2021. It wasn't. It wasn't, no. 2020, 19 to 20. No, I'm confused. I see, I'm getting confused. I'm getting tired. I can forget whenever I saw it, but I could be here forever trying to figure it out. I'll go back to all the actors, and especially the leads, Gerlald Mohr and Peggie Castle, Dan Riley, S.I.C. and Robert Bice are dismal in their roles. Excerpt from the New York Times Film Review of Beijing, USA, dated May 1st, 1953. ZTB's the flamboyant filmmaker went to produce the ultimate 50s teen B picture, high school college of 58. Russ Tamblyn, Mamie Van Doren's in it, but Jan Sterling's the main actress. And then it has Jackie Coogan. He's like Mr. A's a dope peddler. He was great in that movie. And then he's like undercover cop that Russ Tamblyn plays. I love that movie. Shot in CinemaScope, directed by Jack Arnold, again, great director. Orson Welles' Touch of Evil. He also did that too. What they're talking about coming up here. Science fiction classic, Troubleshooting Man 2, the Douglas Sirks Baxby, Written in the Wind, and Tarnished Angels. By Measure Invasion is the ultimate atomic film. It is all scheming commies, a square-jawed hero, a lovely leading lady, and of course lots and lots of A-bombs. It is also a fascinating historical artifact from an era when nuclear weaponry was viewed as a desirable battlefield option, not merely as a tool of deterrence. So now you have learned the lesson of invasion is to get out there and do your part, fight the Red Menace, or at least give blood. Bill Gearhart. I keep fucking saying his name like that. Oh, she's beautiful there with the heels on and stuff. But they're gonna start bombing us. Bill Gearhart, the editor of Conrad, a website devoted to atomic culture. And Zugsmith and stuff and all this stuff. I messed up. I skipped over something. I'm tired. I have to go back. I messed up something there. Well, I have to go back because I'm skipping over. I said about almost as interesting as the movie itself and the manner in which Columbia Pictures marketed. This is what I skipped over. But I don't know. I was looking up here and just went over here because I'm tired. I need to finish this, but Almost as interesting as the movie itself, the manner in which Columbia Pictures marketed it, the IUSA press book had an accompanying publicity material as a treasure trove of old Hollywood ballyhoo. Here are some of the suggestions offered at theater owners to how to promote the IUSA. Dress a young man in full parachute regalia and have him walk through the principal streets, tell in advance of play date with a sign on his back reading, "Here's how it would happen if it happened now." See pictures of Asian USA at the State Theater Friday. In 1970, the interview, the legendary Albert Zugsmith. It just says, whatever, it doesn't matter. It says in 73, interview with the legendary Zugsmith praised Invasion USA. Production manager Ralph Black and director again as being two masters of motion picture making, and credited them with teaching him the film trade on IUSA set. This is good, man. Here we go. Over his overall experience on the project, doesn't recall the same interview that while the movie is far from perfect, it is the first film I had control over, and is supposed the public responded because the Nets profits were close to $1 million after making his bones and grade. Z Cheapies, the flamboyant filmmaker, went on to produce, like I said, ultimate DP picture, the teen B picture, a high-full confidential, Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, the science fiction classic Girl Shaker Man, and two of Douglas Sirk's masterpieces, Written in the Wind and Tarnished Angels. Heard about those from the Magnificent Obsession Criterion DVDs. The chick that does the interview about Douglas Sirk's animation Vegas, the ultimate atomic film. There's a scheming commies, a square-jawed hero, lovely leading lane, of course, lots and lots of A-bombs. There's a fascinating historic artifact from an era when nuclear war weapon was viewed as desirable battlefield option, not really a tool of deterrence. So now you have learned the lesson of IUSA. Go out there and do your part to fight the Red Menace, or at least give blood. Like I said, Bill Gerhardt, editor Conrad, a website devoted to atomic culture. I went and skipped over some of that. That's what I did accidentally, but I'm tired a little bit. Just hanging in there. I'm going to finish the rest of this. It's over soon. I wonder if she's dead or not. That bartender's dead. Well, she's good in this scene too, man. She's good. Look at the buildings. Looking all fucked up and all. Explosive stuff, awesome. Miniatures, and those are large-scale miniatures, like I said. Had to be at least 15 feet high. They were standing next to him, a little bit above their heads when they did the cheesecake photos that Zugsmith wanted them to do. People thought that was weird, but that's how they promoted it. On the interview, the guy was talking to all day, and she said that's how they promoted it. Yep, Tim the bartender is killed. Tom Kennedy plays him. Yep, he got killed.
And aid is pouring into New York City from every direction. Any further report on the New York event?
Here are some air pictures of the damage. About a third of the city has been quarantined.
There's a good scene coming. I should read this, but on this film facts thing, but
Compare with the rest of the palace. No report on that yet. Once he's perfect.
let me look at this real quick. Peggie Castle, B Film Glass Universe. Friend Jeff Stoll posted some things on the group. Just the guy talking about the documentary about how she got on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like I said, in 60 she was put, the star was put there. So I have to rescan that one, repost that one picture I touched up a little bit, and, you know, cleaned it up, I should say, to make it look better on in paint. That headshot I won to her with the brunette hair, the beautiful, the regular hair color. Trying to find that that I read. Okay, there's some reshares here. There's those tributes I made. I'm looking for that. Reposted the Green Eyes Crying.
Could the bombing of New York be a diversion? Keep all our air strength away from the west.
Yep, Film Facts Magazine, issue number 47, fall, October, November 94, page 74. Green Eyes Crying, A Tragedy Life Times of Peggie Castle, pages 1 and 2, Dave Scanning Crop.
Put the red alert on everywhere.
I'm just gonna read some of this. Not the whole thing, but you got like about 14 minutes left of this movie. Article by David Joe Hogan, Research Associate Ted Okuda. Unlike some starlets the 1950s, blonde, green-eyed Peggie Castle had a real career, talented and driven with this provocative feline beauty, worked steadily for nearly 15 years, bringing considerable conviction to roles in 35 films, a great deal of episodic television, although Castle never had a leading role in a major picture. I don't care, B movies are the best thing again. She starred in many B's and co-starred in some of the B+, even more than held her own against performers of the caliber. Richard Conte, Randolph Scott, Dorothy Malone, Edmund O'Brien, Marie Windsor, Jane Wyman. I know them all, some favorites there. Peggy's career was not a high-profile, but she was a working actress in town where thousands of others can only dream of regular employment. It's page 75. We got all the Peggie Castle's resume was not at all as it should have been. It's not at the core of her tragedy. It was a thorny private life that led to her despair and eventually to her undoing. Peggie Mohr was born December 22nd. It says 26. Some cite it as 1924 or 27. It says 27 now. It's set in stone. So I mean, although her place of birth was aptly fitted, her story is not one of a desperate climb to poverty, out of poverty. Although her father was the director of industrial reactions of large corporations, and Peggie began her education in a private school in Pittsburgh, like I said. Then she developed an affinity for acting and appeared in many school plays in 1936, but the year Peggie turned 10. Trying to keep up with this movie at the same time. The family began a nomadic existence as her father was repeatedly... They're all dead there, man, the people.
I call upon the Congress of the United States to back its military leaders with
nomadic existence as her father was repeatedly transferred to industrial plants in many different cities. When he became studio manager of the Goldwyn Studios, the family was removing ending in the Blair Steel to Hollywood. That's where they settled at. I read this before, but I don't like all the comments, and I remember some of the stuff from it. He was precociously beautiful with a 14-year-old student. Well, Peggy was precociously beautiful with a 14-year-old student at Hollywood High. She lied about her age and won her first modeling assignment during the summer when she was an usherette at the Hollywood Bowl. Following high school graduation, 44, Peggy moved with her family to Oakland, where she enrolled in Mills College, a theater arts major. She studied under Madeline Milhaud, formerly the comedy French of Paris. In her sophomore year, Peggy won the school's highest scholastic award. I remember this stuff. Peggy left Mills College after 2 years to appear on a radio soap opera to 2 Days Children, where she earned $375 a week. I wish I could get that much. Other shows including Lux Radio Theater, heard of that, followed. Peggy was young, bright, and beautiful, and her fortune seemed limitless. Then in 1944, when Peggy was not yet 19 years old, she married a Los Angeles businessman named Revers Call. Like I mentioned him earlier. Bally said, I think she's the one he said she acted like Mary Pickford. Maybe I'm mistaken, that's not the one, but one of them said that. The dickhead. And that's a silent film star. That's a silent film star a lot of people thought couldn't act. The marriage added a complex new dimension to her life, but Peggy remained, determined to make her mark as an actress. She adapted a professional named Peggie Call and made her film debut in One of the Girls Beautiful in 1947. Adele Jurgens is in there. Yep, I'm going to stop there, but...
And have them challenge everybody, no matter what uniform.
She was 19, she married that guy. And she said never marry an actor, it never works. She said who wants to play a good girl all the time and play a B movie? Who wants to play a good girl all the time and play a bad girl? It's fun, it's better, it's funner, and she said it's like more entertaining and it's like doing it. Here we go, they're gonna listen to this.
Cub is a young animal, a bear. Sergeant the guard! Sergeant the guard!
They know he's full of it because they know he's attacking because they know what they're even talking about. And the fucking Chicago Cubs, the freaking baseball team, They always talk about a cub play like an actual animal, a mammal. This is that guy that plays in this. Let me see his name. Wade Crosby, Illinois Congressman, Arthur V. Haraway. Yep. If she wants to play a good girl, tell me to play a bad girl. It's fun. Eric Ray liked doing that too. She said for changing Girls on Loose in '58.
Gentlemen, the enemy is attempting to seize the seat of government. We are surrounded.
Now it's getting. Now they're freaking attacking the White House and shit. It's getting good. They're gonna start firing at them and killing people. This is like they're really there. It's like process. It's like this low budget filmmaking. I mean, it's good though still, but it doesn't bother me. But
Do you have any casualty list of the attack?
stop there. Yep.
How many?
The North City article. That was not April, summer 2013. It was my mistake. I knew it was 2013, but that was a little mistake.
When the military appropriations bill came up for vote,
He said we could safely reduce our armed forces by half.
he wasn't only wrong, he's dead.
Enemy demands surrender of my state or threatens to act
Some of the stuff in the group.
Can you protect me?
I don't know if I'm gonna make that slide through with the commentaries from all those clips that show pictures from that year before that, because some of these scenes are too brief.
We're driving him out of the city. In another 24 hours, the government will be safe.
And there's not much time to talk, and I mean, it might just do whole movies and talk about her.
New York. I've been looking out the window.
Look at some of the longer ones I could use maybe, but that's about it, the longer clips.
Enemy troops moving in the streets below. It's only a matter of minutes before they find us and take this station off the air.
Men are coming into the building now.
In a little time
Yeah,
we have
see.
left, I want to tell you how proud you can be of the ordinary citizen of New York.
I'm just gonna look at all this. I'm not gonna read a lot more stuff.
I saw taxi drivers use their
She's there, listening to the radio, all upset about it. What's going on? They would listen to that guy. He said it was gonna get worse.
I saw mounted policemen become a fighting
Omar, that guy.
Take over now.
Look at this pretty hearts on her pants. That is cute. There's a scene coming up that it's sad that I get real into. She's dropped the cigarette right on the floor. I'm gonna start talking about looking at the movie and talking about the rest of the scene. I was watching it, coming back and forth, reading that stuff. I'm gonna rush into the accent. Rai said on the interview, places I'm from Minsk, some place in Russia, whatever he said exactly, but
Your party, which will work hand in hand with the Marxist democratic leadership of all other nations, so that never again will war be necessary among the civilized peoples of the world.
looks like she's got sandals on her. They're pretty. See her feet a little bit there. The strap things are pretty nice. I've seen better, but I've seen some of the other ones that were nicer. Now they're gonna come in here beating on the door and.
Say to me to broadcast the glories of new order. What do you think?
Just gonna watch this. There's some good stuff coming up here. There's some scenes I get real into. It's sad what happens. There's a cleavage there. You can see that's sexy right there. And there's some. Now they're gonna try to get them to. They like whiskey, you know. Fucking bastard. Yeah, they're. You think they're not gonna trick him? Oh, beautiful in her profile. I love her profile. I always liked Gerlald Mohr. He's a good actor.
We should have met another time.
I'll have to name some of this stuff in the director. I don't know if it's gonna be time because I'm really getting into the end of this. I'm just gonna probably just do it like this and react to the scenes and do that. And I could talk over some of the other things or something with it or something and do a little thing and talk about the other films they did or something and something else. Or
You drink whiskey too.
Please. No.
She doesn't want any.
Three. Listen, honey,
Oh god, it's awful. These fuckers.
she's dead. Now you, my woman.
I don't like to see this. It's really sad. This hurts my feelings a lot. Try to rape her. It's sad, that scene. I don't like it. And there's her spinning around, and the guy's into the POV of that. Omar's his wine, that guy Omar's wine glass. There they are. That's what could happen if they don't. And then they said that guy. They said this Tim guy says he's a phony. If I ever saw one, they don't like he's lying, like he's full of it, and you'll see what happens here. If anybody saw this movie, if not, then that's a spoiler before it happens. But if anybody watched this, it's probably seen it.
We're alive.
Didn't we fly to the West Coast?
Volunteered at the Red Cross, and she did. Yep, it's like
What are we doing back here?
precursor to her bigger nurse role in full blown and targets here 55 and widescreen 1.66.1 is Anne Galloway. But yeah, and she was Audrey Ames for the National Wire Service report.
You know who he is?
Wow, look at her, how beautiful! Look at that shot. Yeah, see.
A phony if I ever saw one.
How might say?
Yeah, there. See, he's back. Reporter for National Wire Service. Yep. Yeah, like I said, Barbara Sykes and 55 and
You asked me, Congressman. Did you enjoy your little excursion into the future?
53. I mean, in Calicut. What's that short she did? Assignment Mexico. I'm trying to remember who she played. I forget now. I'm just getting tired. They were supposed to make it a whole series in color. The first one was black and white, the pilot episode, and then they canceled after that.
It is?
I'll do a commentary on it. You know, just
Tomorrow's things will stay like water from a rock.
yeah, Back from the Dead. She's in it too. And I'm getting tired. I can't remember all of her characters right now. I said some of them. I did said a lot of them almost done here. This is gonna be over here, and hope you guys like this movie. I think it could be cleaned up better, these lines, but on the screen here of the film. But maybe they'll do another transfer and put it up on Blu-ray or something. I think they put out the double feature. I forget. It was on creepyclassics.com. Anybody that likes the Monster Bash should like his stuff. And there's no monsters in this, but that's Ron Adams runs that. That's coming up in the second week of October. We're going to be going to that. Well, there's this. She looks so beautiful here. I mean, even though her hair is not really blonde, but that dress is Jesus. That's class and glamour. I like women like that. They're naturally beautiful and talented like her, and really nice, and had a hard life, and it's sad and tragic. It makes me cry. I love her with all my heart, and this just goes out to her, and she's amazing. And look at that. Look at her back. Look at that. Yeah, it's nice. Look at how she has that line go up the stockings. That's sexy. That's a real woman, man. That's a good movie, man. There's that about the George Washington thing.
To be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving.
She's amazing in this. I mean, she's better in some of the other movies, but this is good still. It's one of my favorite movies she made. It's one of the first ones I saw. Hope you guys enjoyed it.